Joining us for the latest managerial interview is joint manager Neil Baker. We can tell, Neil, that you're bitterly disappointed with that today. It's already started on various social media bits, £15 to come and watch that. You can't turn round to the fans that have paid that money today and argue that. No. But you were beaten by a better team today, which we've always got to give credit to. But how can you and what can you say to Slough fans about that performance?
I can only apologise. Players were gutless, absolutely gutless today. And you're right, fully deserved to lose a game of football. You know, they've broken on us more times. We've just said in the changing room, they showed desire today. They showed desire to shut us down and get beyond us, and we showed none of it. We showed no desire to get on the end of crosses, get on the end of free kicks, get on the end of corners. We showed no quality on the ball, and it started early. You know, like it was a false dawn going 1-0 up. It's just a long throw and it's a looping header from Freddie. But we showed it from early on with sloppy passes, no intensity. They started to pass the ball when they had about a 10-15 minute spell where we just got nowhere near it. We didn't press them. We were calling for us to press. And once we finally did, they stopped being able to pass and play, and they started to go a bit longer, and we had a 10-minute spell. But it was unacceptable. You know, there's no glossing over the fact that wasn't one of our teams today. It is one of our teams, but it wasn't one of our teams. You know, we've always prided ourselves on players who work hard, players who show desire. We might not be the best team technically in the world, but we'll always have a go. But we showed absolutely none of it today. And senior players who, you know, we just said in there, think they're better than they are. You have to earn the right in football every time you step out on the pitch. And I said it in my programme notes. I said it in the notes before for the website that levels mean absolutely nothing. Form means absolutely nothing. You know, they came here today on a poor run of form, but they came with a belief that they can come here and win, because that's what the FA Cup's all about, and they fully deserve to win the game. You know, there's no question in that. All I can question is us as a side today. You know, it's gives us a lot of questions. You know, defensively we were poor all round. You know, we didn't show any quality in midfield at all. Listen, I could sit here and go through every single one of them. The only ones that might, you know, you take out of that, you know, some of the young lads who come on to try and change a game of football, but it shouldn't take them to have to come on to try and change a game of football when you've got a senior side out like we did. Obviously, we had the disappointment of Scott not being available today due to COVID, you know, which, you know, changed our plans a little bit, but ain't an excuse. You know, there's more than good enough players on that pitch, but possibly not. Possibly they're not. You know, and that's a concern. That's something that we've got to go away and deal with. I'd say it's you know, probably one of the lowest points in our management time here. We had a couple in the first season where our lads just didn't show anything, and today was one of those days where I said to them they're lucky that they didn't get booed off today, and we didn't get booed off because we fully deserved it. Our fans are just ridiculous. They're so supportive, and actually on today's performance they didn't need to be. Do you know what I mean? The lads got let off today. We got let off today. I can't be doing much more. Unders can't be doing much more on the sidelines. You know, once those players cross the pitch, it is down to them. But I'm sitting there. I remember, you know, as a player that, you know, when you're behind in an FA Cup game, you show that desire to try and break your neck to get in the box and get on the end of something. And we just didn't show that, and it petered out, and they broke on us a few times and could have scored more. So I'd go as far as to say it's a disgraceful performance.
I know it's not difficult, but is it possibly the fact that You know, Whitehawk have come from 2 heavy defeats in their last 2 games. They've lost 6-1 away,
Yeah.
4-1 at home.
Yeah.
Was there a case that maybe amongst the players and yourselves that
No.
it was a walk, you'd already won it?
No, I don't think so. I you know, if there is, then more for them, because we certainly don't. I go into every game, you know, with the mindset of we've just got to work hard. We've got to work hard, and I don't care what level anyone plays at. You know, we could have been playing a step 5, step 6 side today, and if they showed more desire than we showed today, which, to be honest, most sides would have done. Most sides would have come here and beaten us today. Because they just showed nothing. So from a point of sitting there saying, was it going to be too easy or anything like that, then absolutely not. You know, it's we've almost been burnt in this competition. You know, when we've gone on and had great FA Cup runs, you know, we almost got burnt against Sholing. We almost got burnt against Bristol Manor Farm. We had warning signs that year. You know, and that was when we were, you know, having an incredibly successful time. So it's football, it's the FA Cup, and that's why they've come here today with no inhibitions, no problems. I mean, defensively they were much better than they have been. Obviously they had Elab, who, you know, got promoted with Wickham a couple of years ago in their side, and he's a real leader for them, and I think Cotton played as well, who hasn't been playing. So they were better than they've probably been in recent weeks, but as I said, it's the FA Cup, so anyone who did turn up thinking, you know, that they were in for an easy ride, then, you know, obviously we were rudely awakened and rightly dumped out of the FA Cup.
Lack of goals has been something that maybe we've spoken about before, but again, you can't give teams 3 goals like you've given again.
No.
Are you looking, especially with the Birdie injury, at possibly trying to bring some fresh faces in?
Yeah. I mean,
it's clear that whether we all know you defend as a team, but
we haven't. You know, like, I look at the first goal in particular today. You know, the lad's out on the right hand side, and I think he's taken a touch inside, and he's just looked up, and there's a midfield runner. The 7's just run from deep, and he's run probably past our midfielders, and there's a massive gap between the 2 centre halves. I need to watch it back, but he's almost had 2 touches in the box, in the penalty box, and then put it past Northey. That is nowhere near good enough. And it's something. Obviously, losing Birdie's a huge blow. You know, there's no question, because Birdie's probably been our standout player this season. He defends properly, and, you know, he wins his headers, wins his tackles, and I mean, I'm not just going to sit there and pin the blame on Guy Hollis, Martin Nisbet, Josh Chapman, Freddie Grant, but as a defensive unit, we've conceded 3 goals today, again at home, and that's unacceptable. You know, listen, I'll stand here and I'll tell you how it is. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. We're absolutely devastated in there, absolutely disgusted with the performance. And we said, you know, we'll have to look at 1 or 2 changes. We're not in a position where we can sit there and go and splash the cash, and you know, but we've got to try and do something, because today's performance was unacceptable. The previous week, you know, I watched the St Albans game back twice. You know, we were good. We looked really good that day. And, you know, an unjust decision has lost us the game of football. But you can't go from that performance where we were good to today where we were just diabolical. You know, I think actually, you know, when you look at the games this season, you know, I think we've been reasonable in most games. I think we've been competitive in most games. Obviously, the Dartford game, second half, went away from us, but we still put in a shift. But today, I just felt that they just wanted it more. They worked harder than us, and the players should hang their heads today, because that's probably one of the most disappointing performances since we've been managers at the club.
Neil, thank you very much for your honesty. Try and have a good weekend.
Cheers, Aid. Thank you.
Thanks.